So when I was buying a tractor, I looked at the John Deere, I looked at Massey Ferguson, Kubota, and the Rural King tractors. I looked at a few different ones on the market, and I studied a lot about them. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a lot of good information on YouTube. But when it comes to the Kioti, I was really impressed when I went to the dealership, because I went to the dealerships and looked at a lot of these, and for the price that I could get the Kioti for, a Deere was about half the size. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a Kioti because the weight, if you're working with a tractor, a good heavy tractor to dig in and pull and stuff is a great thing. It helps with traction, it helps with balance. And I'm not a tractor guy, I'm not a farmer, but I got some land that I needed to work with, and my dad's land too, and I was like, we gotta have something. I already had a skid steer, but when I was looking at the Kioti for the price and with the backhoe and with how much it would lift, I was really impressed, and I was impressed with some of the reviews. But when I got going to the dealerships and started looking, what really sold me on a Kioti, and I know a lot of people probably wouldn't pay attention to this or notice this, but I'm a welder by trade. That's all I've done my whole life. And a Kioti tractor has beautiful wheels on it from the ones that I've seen at the dealership. I mean, around the boom. And I think that when you see the 4030C compared to the normal 4030, I think that C stands for Canada. I'm not for sure. Y'all could leave a comment. If that's incorrect, let me know. But from what I found out, that means that this boom was made in Canada. But other than that, even the places on the tractor, it's got good looking wheels, and I like the design of it. And on the backhoe has been really good so far. I've actually used it way more than I anticipated that I would, but they have been we're at 100 hours. That's what this video is about, 100-hour review of this Kioti. And the backhoe, the grease fittings on it break off really easy. I don't know why. I don't know, they're just cheap. Like at the bottom pivot, they're screwed in, and then they got another one that screws in at like a 45 on top of it, so it's like 2 threads. But I was able to get a pack of Kioti backhoe grease fittings off of eBay, so that's what I done. I got those used to ease out, got them out and put in the new ones. I grease this thing really well, as you can tell by looking at a lot of places on the boat. Grease is squeezed out, and now I have washed it quite a bit too. But as far as it being at 100 hours, and mainly is what I've done with this tractor since I've had it, is backhoe and dig even with the front bucket. Now I got the smooth bucket when I bought the tractor, but my skid steer bucket has teeth, and I have used that skid steer bucket on this, and the skid steer bucket's quite a bit bigger. If you get a full bucket and hit humped over, it is a little bit of a strain for the tractor, so I don't use it a whole big lot unless I'm just transferring a lot of materials from one location to another, because where it holds so many more cubic feet, that it makes my job a lot quicker. But as far as issues or anything that I've had in my first 100 hours on this tractor is the grease fittings. And the other thing was I was working up here on a hill a while back, and if any of you guys are on the Kioti Facebook page, you might have seen it. I posted a little video of it because it kind of worried me. It just all of a sudden it started running sluggish, and then it just died, and it quit. And when it started back, it just barely idle, couldn't do anything. I was sitting in the road on it, and so I changed the fuel filter, and I still have never cut that fuel filter apart. I'm gonna cut it apart and see if it had any dirt, but it might have got some local dirt in it from the local fuel station. I don't know, but I think it's what it was I was running the fuel low. The tank was close to empty, and I was running on a hillside, so I believe that it got air in the line somehow or another, because once I changed the fuel filter, reprimed it, been running strong ever since. Now, the Kioti handbook says that change the oil, first oil change at 50 hours, 200 hours on your hydraulic fluids. I went ahead and changed everything at 50 hours, and but the fuel filter, I didn't change the fuel filter until it got, I think it was right at 90 hours, because of that issue happening. But I changed everything at 50 hours, all hydraulics, transmission, give it a good grease and good going over, oil, The oil that come out of it looked really clean. I was actually impressed. And the hydraulic fluid that come out of it was really clean. It looked good. The magnet plugs didn't really have anything, just your normal break-in type stuff. Now, I'm not somebody that works and tries to get every ounce of power out of something. I try to when I'm running a piece of equipment, I try to give it its time. I work it easy. I try to take care of my stuff because it's money and it's expensive, and I'm not made out of money. So I like to try to take care of what I got. I don't strain it. I let it pull itself. Now, we got a hill up here that I work on a whole lot, and when it had the factory hydraulic fluid in it, anytime I had to go up it loaded with a bucket, I always had to put it in low. It wouldn't pull it in medium. And this is a 25 horse tractor. The reason I went with a 25 horse tractor is I did not want to run DEF fluid. I hate diesel exhaust fluid and all that stuff that goes with it because it's problems. And for what I was doing, a 25 horse to where I didn't need none of that is great. I might not be able to get it done like a 35 horse or a 45 horse in that nick of time, but you give me my time, I'll get it. And I just think less stuff to tire up, and 25 horse is probably good enough for me. But what I was getting at is once I changed the hydraulic fluid in this tractor and went with a higher, better grade, I researched and I looked at the forums on Facebook, on the Facebook pages, what guys was using. They was recommending Mobil, Amsol, all these different oils, and I got to researching, and I went to my local dealer, and what a lot of them was putting in it, they wasn't putting back the Kioti, the normal Kioti fluid in it. And once I changed that hydraulic fluid, that hill, I can run it with a bucket load in medium. It pulls so much better. It's like the tractor gained 10 horsepower. It pulls, it's so much smoother, the boom and everything just operates so much better once I changed fluid in it. And if I'd have known then what I know now, I would have probably changed it within 10 hours because it makes the tractor just do so much better. I've also noticed with these tractors too, when they're new, they're a little tight, the boom lifting up and down. And I've seen some guys complain that if they're looking at the seat, that the left side, it looks like the boom's kind of shift to the right side a little bit. And I've looked at a lot of these tractors, and I think that is partially true. A lot of times it's probably in alignment of the way they've got their brackets and stuff designed. I don't think it hurts the tractor at all. I think it's just a OCD issue with a lot of people. Because in manufacturing, if you take a brand new Dodge truck or a Chevrolet truck or Ford truck, working with metal and being around this stuff, I have seen brand new trucks before that me and my buddies had to pull measurements on, and them be different from the factory. Brand new trucks never wrecked or anything. And so there is weld draw, especially on heavier equipment, and this heavier industrial welding, that's going to offshift. So you shouldn't let that stuff bother you. That's just part of it. And I'm sure if you paid attention to even higher name brands, I can go around stuff and find things on them that's not exactly perfect. There's nothing that you're ever going to buy, whether you want to believe it or not, it's going to be perfect. But you need to get the best bang for your buck. And I felt like that when I was buying a tractor, a Kioti was that. But when they're new and they're stiff, it's amazing how just greasing these things and working them up and down will relieve some of that. Everything just works so much smoother. I use a red grease in it. I mean, you guys, you tell me what you use, comment. That's what I've been using, and it seemed to work out pretty good. But this tractor, I do love it, and I've enjoyed it. I wanted to get the industrial tires when I first bought it, but the only thing the dealer had with a tractor being in stock was the R14. And I thought, man, I won't really like that tractor tire for what I'm doing. But I got to say, I love these tires. They dig good in the dirt, they work good in the mud. And not only that, it's like when I'm working around the yard and the wife's got me doing chores, the skid steer would always tear up everything. I can run this tractor through my yard and it don't tear up nothing, and work with it, just as long as I don't have my differentials locked. But I do like the tractor. I don't regret buying it at all. I would buy it again. The only issues I've had out of it is that grease fitting, that I consider an issue. And I try to take it, maintain it good, and I try to take care of it. It's got fluid in the tires. As you can tell, I built this roof rack where I'm a fabricator by trade and a welder. I built this roof. As you can see, I cut Kioti in it, and name of my business, and made the roof, and I added the light bars, and I run and the little pod lights in the back, run it down through the cage there, and then on the rear for the backhoe, I made me some feet pads for my outriggers that's got teeth that goes into the ground, and that really makes this thing stable, and it digs in good and don't move and don't slide. You can get rubber ones, I think, online, but the time I was looking, I'm gonna cut my own, and I got a pattern for them, and I can just CNC them, cut them out, and weld them. They tab, they lock in. They actually got like a dowel pin that goes into your factory footprint. And then on the front, on the bucket, I added 2 hooks, and I added a reese receiver on it because I'm moving trailers around a lot with what we're doing. So I got me a receiver hitch with all the balls on it, 1.7/8, 2 inch, 2 5/16, and then it's got a hook too, and I can flip it around. Very handy. I bought the clamp-on forks for the bucket, and they are handy, but they move the forks out so far that if you're trying to be real gentle, the hydraulics on this thing works so quick that it can make it aggravating. I plan on getting the quick attach forks. I may build me a set. I haven't decided yet. But if you're doing a lot of weight with the slip-on forks from like Vevor, Amazon, or them places, they will, if you put too much weight on, can start to flex the bucket and put an indentation in them. But it has to be a whole lot of weight, because I've lifted quite a bit with it. But all in all, I do love this tractor, and I'll probably add some video into this video of going around it and showing you some little things. I'm not a professional videographer or editor or anything like that. I'm just a good old boy using a cell phone right now, and I hope that you can hear me well. We added the mirrors to it also when I bought it from the dealership, and I really have found them to be handy. But the tractor, I would definitely buy it again. It's probably been one of my most favorite purchases that I've purchased so far. It's been a good tractor. I like the 4-wheel drive in it. I like the diff lock in it. I love the seat and the comfort of the seat. It rides so good, and I actually added the handles on the side, or the armrest, and that was a great addition. Really handy. I should have bought the rubber pad. As you can tell, I wore the paint off for my feet area, and when it's wet and stuff, I think that rubber pad would probably be better, because that can get slick if you're working out in the rain. I do keep this tractor in a dry. I keep it in a shed. I try to take care of my stuff. I don't like stuff sitting outside if I can heat from it. When I first bought it, it sat outside for a few months. I throwed a tarp over it, but now I've got it to where it's in the dry all the time. But you guys, comment, tell me how your experience has been with Kioti. As for me and mine, it's been great. I like it. I think it's a great tractor for the value. I bought this one in 2024, and if I'm not mistaken, it was $33,500 out the door with the backhoe. And like I said, I've added some things on my own since then. I'm planning on doing a few more add-ons. But it's been a good tractor for me. And if you're looking at buying one for the farm, I mean, it's 25 horse. It does well. It does well. It digs well. It lifts well. The backhoe, I really like the backhoe, and I've got a lot of time on the backhoe also. It's got the 2475L on it. It seems to do fine. So if you all got any questions or thoughts or anything like that, share them in the comments. And if you've not subscribed, right now would be the perfect time to subscribe, because I know I'm just building this channel. But I got a lot of off-grid stuff, welding, reviewing the tools. Well, it's just, I don't know what I'll be into, but you might want to follow me. You might like what I'm into next. You can't never tell. But if you don't care, give us a like and a follow, and give us a comment. We appreciate you, and God bless. Here you can see the reese hitch that I added onto the bucket and the hooks. You can tell we try to keep it good and greased, keep it in good shape. This is just kind of a walk around to go along with the video, just kind of showing you, as you can see, where Wore some of the paint off. Should have got me a rubber mat. Love these. This is the Backhoe outrigger mounts I used. Get some bite. And here is the top I made to keep the sun off of me with my light bar. And I'm going to have a pictures attached of me and running it when it hits 100 hours. And then my dad, he's on it once, which is a real precious picture to me because he ain't able to be on it anymore. He struggles with walking, so, but when we first got it, he was able to get on it and use it some. And here's the more pictures, video of the outriggers. You can see how we got them dowel pinned and bolted. The grease fittings that I was talking about, mainly this one down here is low. That one's the one that wants to break. This one here broke. I don't know what it was, but I just replaced them and went on. You have to clean the dirt out of them. I usually take a screwdriver or iron nozzle and blow them out real good. That way you can get a good bite with your grease gun. Because key to taking care of this stuff is keeping good grease on it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to attach some of it that when I was running in and just hit 100 hours. Hopefully y'all like it. I'm going to have some pictures attached from when I first bought it to its life through its 100 hours. And I've really enjoyed this tractor. It's been a good tractor. And this is just my truthful experience with Kioti. Woo! I love this Kioti. I don't know if you can see the hours or not. 99.9, and we're digging dirt, spreading dirt, getting dirt. Old Kioti's coming along. Pushing dirt, pushing dirt. Woo! Hours. Kind of like a birthday for the tractor. Hours on the 2620. 2024 model.